Hey everyone! In today's video, I'm introducing you to Antonis. Antonis is Greek and he moved to Paris about 7 years ago. Antonis' story is very fascinating. He used to be a millionaire. He's not anymore. And in today's video, he's sharing with us his story of how he used to have this lavish lifestyle and then one day, boom, he was left only with 300 euros in his pocket to survive and to rebuild his new life. Anthony's story is fascinating because even when you think you have it all, you may one day lose it all. But the lesson behind is something much deeper that I would leave you to find out in this interview. Just rolling here.
Okay. So, okay, hello there.
And by the way, guys, the filming is not so great, so I ask you to be indulgent. It's my fault, like I did it all wrong, but still I thought it was still worth posting this video with Antonis, so please be indulgent in terms of the video filming. All right, thank you. So Antonis, you know, people work really hard, they get really good jobs, and they have this aspiration to build wealth, be comfortable financially, and eventually be a millionaire or a billionaire. A lot of people are like that. A lot of people aspire to do that and to be like that. And also social media encourage you toward that way of like financial independence, having money, not to depend on an employer, etc.
More than 90%, yes.
You in your life, you had that. You lived that and you enjoyed that, and then
Up to a point, yeah.
and then you lost it all, right?
Exactly.
So tell us what happened, how did you get the money, and why you lost all of it.
Okay, basically, I will be honest and truthful. I didn't work for my money. I had the chance that my parents were wealthy. Unfortunately, they both died from cancer when I was very young. And then I inherited a large cash of money, more or less 1 million, all together, investments, cash and houses and stuff like that. The problem was that, maybe I didn't have any parental control, I had an arrogant stance about life, I was all alone, and I didn't invest this kind of money. I made foolish decisions, and like in 7 or 8 years, I managed to lose everything in good life. Actually, I didn't gamble it away. I just had a very expensive lifestyle.
So while you were spending the money and living the good life,
yes,
you didn't even think about the money running out, or maybe about tomorrow, rainy days?
I will tell you the truth. I thought about it. You kind of think about it, but when there is still remaining 500,000 at your bank account, you just forget it after 20 seconds. You say, okay, I will do something tomorrow, but not today. That was the problem. So I never motivated myself to find a solution, and when I really had to motivate myself, it was too late.
And then what happened? Like you just woke up one day and you realized you don't have any more money?
Yes, mostly I had only left like 5,000, and 2 or 3 months ago I made an application to go to Canada to start over my life. I got accepted with 1 year permit to work there. With my passport I can go to Canada, but I needed a second paper in order to find a job there. So fortunately I got that, so I decided to leave everything and go to Canada to start over, because in my place in Athens there was nothing for me. I mean, I lost all my money, I didn't even have a place to stay anymore, so I made the decision and I went to another country.
And then what happened in Canada?
Well, it was nice for 1 year and a half. I worked there. The problem was they didn't renew my work permit. They told me I could stay in Canada if I wanted, but not work there. It was something about to protect the right of the Canadian people. The problem was my profession was too general. I mean, marketing, they have a lot of marketers. If I was a doctor, an electrician, or something more specialized, they renew your permit more easily. And after that, there was a friend of a friend that suggested me to go to Paris because he knew someone that would help me open an enterprise together. I said, okay, yes, they even paid for my ticket. So I went to Paris only to find out that that person had disappeared. I never found that person. Then I asked for explanation. No explanation was given to me. So I was in another city, all alone, no money, pretty much homeless. It was not like the classical scam that someone says pay your ticket and then you go there, you find no one. They paid for my ticket and I had the contact. They assured me that I would have a job, so I accepted.
Why did he never show up?
I never found out.
He paid for your tickets and then he never showed up.
Something like that.
Wow.
I was not exactly on the street sleeping on the bench, although there have been like 5 or 6 days I eaten nothing and 4 days, 4 nights I didn't sleep because the first week I didn't have any clues what to do. But I still had my dignity. I mean, I didn't sleep in public places or I didn't let other people see that I'm homeless. I was just walking around trying to figure out a solution. And then I found some kind of social services that they gave me a place, a public shelter for homeless people, but it's a very bad place. It's like the French call it Centre d'Urgence. This was near the Porte de la Clignancourt. It was called La Boulangerie at the time. Imagine a building like 100 square meters that in this place it houses like 120 people. So it was like military banquets, 2 people in every banquet, and well, it was not the nicest people you could find. Some of them are normal, but some of them were drug addicts, some were criminals, some were psychopaths, some were normal, but it's not the best of people you can find.
So in what state of mind were you in that center? Thinking that a few weeks before you were living a lavish lifestyle and now you're with the homeless, with the thieves, with the criminals.
Yeah.
What state of mind were you in?
I accepted it as a small punishment for my behavior. I mean, I shouldn't be so arrogant, I shouldn't be so living in my bubble. I should have thought investing. I should have thought that while I was living a lavish life, other people are working or other people don't have any money to live. So I got the best, I guess, of both worlds. I got to live as very rich and I got to live as a homeless with nothing.
So for 6-7 months you were sleeping at that place?
Yeah, 7 months.
Spending your time at the library. Then one day what happened?
Okay, well, I did some kind of training. I was accepted to do 2 months training, formation. They have Pôle emploi, it's like the unemployment agency in France. And they gave me, I participated in a 2-month program that was remunerated. So it was mostly about cleaning jobs, stuff like that. And I did my stage 1 week in a hospital. That was interesting. I got to see the inside, the interior of a big hospital. And after 2 months, they gave me 800 euro. And I was also fortunate because I got a tax return from Canada, another 1,000 euro. So at one point, from zero, I got back again to around 1,800 euro.
After how long?
After 7 months. For 7 months, I had zero, not anything.
Right, and then you had 1,000 euros.
1,800.
800. What did you do with this money?
I left that horrible place because I couldn't stay anymore there. I mean, if the other people didn't attack me, the bacteria there would kill me for sure. So I thought to myself I have to escape there. So I started living in hostels, and small hostels that offered like 15 euro a night. It's like you live in a place with 6 or 7 people, most of them tourists. I stayed there in hostels around 2 or 3 months, different hostels. In that time I was sleeping in the hostel. I was searching for jobs and stuff like that. And eventually I managed to find a cleaning job, part-time. So after 1 year that I got to France, I eventually had my first job. And I started working for a company. Mostly I was taking out the garbage and cleaning floors in a place. I got per month 550, which was not a lot to support me staying in a place, in a normal house. Fortunately, I found on my rights that when you work part-time in France, you get some kind of social benefit. So, in social assistance, no one told me about my rights. I had to find it by myself in the internet. So I searched in the library all by myself. I found out my rights. So I found out that when you work part-time, you get some kind of help like prime d'activité. It was 300 euro. So with that kind of money, I switched from hostels to colocation. And eventually at 2018, I managed to find for the first time my own place, a studio. Not very big, like 11 square meters. I mean, in Canada, where I stayed, it was 8 times bigger. Even my toilet was bigger than my house. Still, it was my own place, and it's very expensive. It was in the 9th district, arrondissement, and I paid 530 euro for that. And 2 years later, I managed to find a full-time job. So eventually, I had a normal salary. I managed to get some loans from the bank, and because in order for the bank to give you loan, you have to have a full-time job. A part-time job, they don't give you anything. And with those loans, which was around 15,000 euro, I invested to the stock market for the first time. So imagine, like 5 years ago, I was homeless, and 5 years later, I had my first experience with stock market. Because at this time, I thought to myself, I have to invest.
I know that you're not spending your money the same way you used to.
No, I learned my lesson now.
Except for your t-shirts, I know you're fond of.
Yes, from an application, I like just. Yeah, I spend money to some personal liking, but very, very small amounts now.
But I also know that you're not taking any vacation and you're just saving and investing into the stock market.
Yes.
What was the shift? When did you realize that you can't go back to your old life again?
Well, I decided that I had my time, I had my life, 10 years, 8 years, very, very good life. I mean, other people will never have this kind of life, and other people work all their lives to have this kind of life. So, I mean, life is not all life a party. I mean, you should do other stuff also. And eventually, okay, if the stock market goes well in 5 or 10 years, I can still go again on vacation. But this time I will be careful. Even if I spend in the future some money or luxury or stuff like that, I would always keep 25% for time of emergency. So if something goes bad, at least this time I will have a reserve or something.
So what would you say to people who are watching this video and they have dreams to achieve things that you had in the past, to achieve that wealth that you had in the past? What would you tell them today?
Okay, I cannot give a general advice for everyone because everyone is different. I cannot profess that my advice will be useful to everyone. There are people that work their best but still fail. The thing is that you have to try, because the most horrible question you can ask yourself 10 years or 20 years from now is 2 words: what if? So what if I have made that and now it's too late to do that? The thing is, you have to explore all possible options. There are always options. Even if you don't make it, at least you have the satisfaction that you tried. You tried all your options. The thing is, never give up. Okay, that's very generic. A lot of people have said that. Me, I'm saying explore all your options, even the options that don't seem possible at the moment, or the options that elude you. Just take 2 or 3 days, go to a place where you're totally alone, think, immerse yourself in what you can do, what you cannot do, relax your mind, empty your mind, and then think about those options and possibilities. And then just take a try, just begin. It's like there are two different scenarios. People say one day, or you can say day one.
Thank you so much, Antonis, for sharing your story.
Welcome. It's my pleasure.
It's very courageous of you to actually open up such a vulnerable part of you.
Well, it's not easy, but I hope if this live video can help even one person to achieve better, that would be a satisfaction for me. I mean, I'm not asking for any money, I'm not asking for any glory about it. I'm just a single person that had a good life, then some had misfortunes, then trying to get back on his feet. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, well, you know, Antonis, how much I appreciate you for that, for your strength, for your courage, for your personality and perseverance. I can only wish you the best.
Thank you.
And
You too.
I will keep following your progress.
Okay, maybe we can do that again in 2 or 3 years.
Alright, that would be a good idea. Thanks, Antonis.